Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. My name is Matt Florjancic, and I am on the call for tonight's women's soccer game between the Fighting Muskies of Muskingum University and the host Yellow Jackets of Baldwin Wallace. BW comes in with a record of 7-6 overall. They are 3-3 here on the Tressel Field turf this season, and 2-2 in Ohio Athletic Conference play, 1-1 in home OAC games. Muskingum comes in with an 2-8-3 overall record. They are 0-4 in Ohio Athletic Conference play and 2-2 away from home. Taking a look at the starters for tonight. First for Muskingum, in goal, junior number 1, Kelly Buck. At midfield, sophomore, number 6, Morgan Meisel. At midfield, sophomore, number 7, Jillian Leposki. At forward, senior, number 8, Skylar Strong. At forward, junior, number 11, Isabel Cottigan. At midfield, freshman, number 24, Emily Kaler. On defense, senior, number 17, Monique Reel. At midfield, freshman, number 18, Brittany Herrick. At midfield, freshman number 19, Aubrey Brooks. On defense, senior number 24, Sheridan Wolfter. And at midfield, freshman number 28, Marissa Starcher. Starting it off for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, in goal, it'll be senior keeper from Olmsted Falls, number 1, Maddie Hoffman. On defense, 5'6", senior from Powell Olentangy Liberty High School, number 3, Lizzie Stackhouse. On defense, a 5'6", junior from Wadsworth, number 4, Anna Wolfinger. On defense, a 5'7", freshman from Black Lick, Ohio, and Columbus Bishop Hartley High School, number 5, Carly Beringer. At midfield, a 5'6", junior from Fairlawn and Copley High School, number 8, Jillian Neal. At forward, a 5'8", junior from Parma Heights and Valley Forge High School, number 18, Casey Goluboff. At midfield, a 5'5", senior from Pickerington North, number 19, Brandy Philippi. On defense, a 5'10", sophomore from Holly, New York, number 20, Kaylee Neal. At midfield, a 5-foot senior from Macomb, Michigan and Dakota High School, number 25, Maddie Farrell. On defense, a 5'8", sophomore from Lewis Center and Olentangy Orange High School, number 29, Haley Schwady. And on defense, a 5'7", senior from Cuyahoga Falls, number 30, Paige Phillips. The Yellow Jackets are led by Jim Woitkin in his 5th year. Lex Manoa and Vince Milner, class of 2015, are his assistants. The Fighting Muskies are led by Coach Danny Gunderson, who is in her 3rd year with the program. She is assisted by Megan Jansen in her 2nd year and Will Hess in her 4th year. Right now, we're going to pause for the national anthem and bring you first half action right after that.
Tonight's women's soccer results and other Yellow Jackets athletics can be accessed throughout the BW Athletics website.
Well, we have this time before kickoff. I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Today's game is Senior Day here at Baldwin Wallace. And the Yellow Jackets paying tribute to their 7 seniors in the program. Still have a couple more home games left, but wanted to make sure that these ladies got the proper send-off that they deserve. That includes Maddie Farrell, Brandy Philippi, Casey Goluboff, Maddie Hoffman, Paige Phillips, Bella Regal, and Lizzie Stackhouse, all who have been great contributors to the program in their time in the brown and gold. BW will start on defense. Muskingum will start off possession. They're wearing their red jerseys with red socks and brown shorts, white numerals with brown or black and white trim down the sides of the Yellow Jackets in their home white uniforms with brown lettering and numerals and gold trim around each of those. The Yellow Jackets take away possession and try to send it down the field, but Muskingum shuts the door on that attempt and will take possession near midfield. Good battle along the sidelines there for the ball, and the Yellow Jackets will win it. They'll track it down along the near sideline. Yellow Jackets going from left to right here in the first half across your computer screens, and the Muskies will go from right to left. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. It's Haley Schwady doing the honors. Kaylee Neal will send it far side of the field to Anna Wolfinger. She'll send it to midfield to Jillian Neal. Neal will reset by kicking it back to the defense. And it's Carly Beringer, who will get the ball up to Maddie Farrell. Back to Kaylee Neal. Now it goes up to midfield where the Muskies will take it away. Muskies try to get it past Wolfinger. She says nothing doing, and she'll help start a break for the Yellow Jackets, but they're unable to hold possession as the ball skipped away from Kaylee Neal. Throw in for the Muskies. And the ball is pushed up the far sideline, but it's out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Wolfinger will do the honors. She lofts it to a teammate. And Paige Phillips has it momentarily taken away, but the Yellow Jackets will get it back right around the midfield stripe. Haley Schwady with the ball. She'll send it back to the defense, and it'll go back to Carly Beringer. It'll get reversed over to Wolfinger. She tries to slip it into the middle of the field. It's taken away by the Muskies. Muskies with good push. They'll put a shot on goal, and Maddie Hoffman is there for the save. She'll roll it out to a teammate. That's Beringer. Will send it right back. And now Schwady will have it on the near sideline. Tries to get it past the Muskie. Gets it rejected. Tries it again. Gets a pass to a teammate. It goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Muskies. Throw in for Schwady. Working the ball up past midfield is Jillian Neal. She'll loft it down the field. Foot race for Lizzie Stackhouse. She's going against Jillian Leposki, and it is going to be a goal kick for the Muskies. Kelly Buck will handle the goal kick. In 12 games played for the Muskies, Buck has allowed 29 goals on 132 shots. She has a save percentage of .780. She is 1-8-3 on the year. She does have one shutout. She's made 103 saves in just under 1,000 minutes of action this year. Throw in for the Muskies. And it's briefly controlled by Muskingum before Neal will try to wrestle it away. Now stepping up in the fray at Stackhouse, and she kicks it off one of the Muskies, throwing for the Yellow Jackets. Haley Schwade will handle it. Schwade, excuse me. She gets it to Stackhouse, and Stackhouse tries to send it down the field, but the Muskies will take it away. They'll kick it out of bounds, so Schwade will throw it in again for the Yellow Jackets. She does so to Neal. Neal tries to put some English on a feed pass into the box, and it sails out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for Kelly Buck. Buck sends it up the right side of the field along the far sideline. Throw in for the Muskies after it goes out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Good feed into the box, or attempt to feed it into the box, but the Yellow Jackets are able to retake possession and try to push it towards midfield. Kicked out of bounds, last touch by the Muskies. It'll be a throw in, and Wolfinger will handle it for the Yellow Jackets. She lofts it down the field to Brandy Philippi. Now it'll work its way back to Wolfinger into the center of the field to Neal. It gets reversed, trying to get it to Stackhouse. Nothing doing. Neal track it down, try to reset. She lofts a pass down the right side. Stackhouse with an inside position. She rifles a shot in on net, but it's scooped up by Kelly Buck for the save. Good pursuit right there by Stackhouse. Originally, she was forced to the outside by Isabel Cottigan. She cut inside, however, and kept the possession of the ball, and that allowed her to get off a shot. Muskingum trying to push the ball across midfield, having a boatload of a challenge against this Yellow Jacket midfield crew. Now they'll take it away and give it to Wolfinger. Wolfinger will send it back, and it'll go all the way back to Hoffman, who will kick it up towards the 42-yard line on the football field. And it's taken away at midfield by the Muskies, but then Wolfinger will take it right back for the Yellow Jackets. Overrun by one of the Yellow Jackets on the pass backwards. It will still stay with BW, and Beringer will track it down. Beringer midfield to Neal. Now it gets dropped back to Kaylee Neal, who will send it up the field, but it's kicked away by the Muskies. Making a play on the ball, Marissa Starcher. And she tries to get it down the field. Wolfinger puts herself in good position, though, and takes it away. She back kicks it to a teammate, and then it works its way up the far sideline to Paige Phillips before the Muskies take it away. Shot attempt is blocked by the Yellow Jackets. Stepping in front of that one, Kaylee Neal. The feed pass goes to Strong, and that'll draw Maddie Hoffman all the way out of the net. She'll dive on the ball and take away the possession. She punts it down the field, and it hits off of one of the Muskies and goes out of bounds. Looked like it hit off of Aubrey Brooks, and she is shaken up on the play. The official calls a stop to the action and asks for the training staffs for BW and Muskingum to come onto the field to check on the young lady. Aubrey Brooks is a freshman midfielder from Brookville, Ohio. We are scoreless here with 37-18 to go in the first half of this OAC women's soccer game between the Muskingum University Fighting Muskies, and Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets. While we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Road Show. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Aubrey Brooks is up and walking to the sideline under her own power. That's always a good sign. We wish the young lady nothing but the best, and hopefully we'll be able to see her again in this game. Taking a look at some individual statistics. In this break, each team has one shot, and it's gotten through on goal, but each goalkeeper has made one save. We have yet to have a corner kick, any offsides calls, or any fouls or cards issued in this first half. The Yellow Jackets have possession. They dropped it back all the way to the defense to Kaylee Neal. Neal works it up with a right-footed kick to Jillian Neal. She'll slip it to Lizzie Stackhouse. Stackhouse trying to set up a teammate, and that's Casey Goluboff, who's given some really good pursuit of the soccer ball, and it goes out of bounds off of the Muskies. Schwade will throw it in. She does so to Neal. Jillian Neal. Over to Lizzie Stackhouse. Tries the feed pass to Goluboff, but it goes out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a throw-in for the Muskies. Have a foul on the Yellow Jackets. That's their first of the game. Muskingum will be awarded a free kick from deep in their own territory. That's a good kick that gets past midfield before the Yellow Jackets will try and take it away, but Muskingum will answer. Maddie Farrell will now take it away for the Yellow Jackets. She gets into the box. She's got an angle, tries the feed pass. It goes out of bounds right next to the goal off of Muskingum. It'll be a corner kick for the Yellow Jackets, and Schwade will be the one to line it up in the corner. She puts it into the box. It's knocked away by one of the Muskies. Brandy Philippi trying to track it down for the Yellow Jackets. She does so to Beringer, who sends it into the box with a beautiful feed. Goluboff battling. She can't control it, but the Yellow Jackets had control of the ball, but the official said they were too physical in getting it. So it's a foul on the Yellow Jackets, and it'll be a free kick for the Muskies. The Yellow Jackets take it right away from the Muskies, who will then battle back for it before sending it out of bounds. Be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Schwade will handle it. She lofts it into the middle to Farrell. Farrell trying to set up Lizzie Stackhouse. Stackhouse again with a step on a defender. She tries to feed it into the box, and again it goes out along the goal line. That's another corner kick coming up for the Yellow Jackets. Schwade again will corner it. She puts it into the box, and it's headed out by the Muskies. The Yellow Jackets trying to get control. Muskingum will get it out of the box, but the Yellow Jackets get it from Philippi. She feeds Goluboff, who had nobody between her and Buck, but was a little too strong, and Buck was able to scoop it up before Goluboff could redirect it towards the net. Buck will punt it, and she'll get it to about the 45, where it's eventually controlled by Cottigan. Cadigan sends it out of bounds. It's controlled by the Yellow Jackets on the throw-in now, but the Muskies will step up and redirect it down the field toward Maddie Hoffman before the Yellow Jackets will retake possession. Beringer trying to work it up the field for the Yellow Jackets. She feeds it to Schwade, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch, Yellow Jackets throw in for the Muskies. Cadigan will handle the throw in for the Muskies rather. Brief timeout for one young lady to retie her shoe, and now we're back underway. The Muskies hold it for very little time of possession before the Yellow Jackets take it away, but BW sends it out of bounds, so it'll be a throw in for the Muskies. Aubrey Brooks controls it. She gets it over to Monique Ryle before it's taken away by the Yellow Jackets. Down the field, Golubov is giving good pursuit, but it's sent out of bounds by the Muskies. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. The throw-in goes to Jillian Neal. She's working hard in the box, drawing a double team. Gets away from one Muskie, but not the second, and they send it up the field. Or Wolfinger will try to reset. She gets it to Philippi and sends it out of bounds. Last touch, Yellow Jackets throw in for the Muskies. Foul is called against one of the Muskies. So that means a free kick from about 39 yards out for Anna Wolfinger. She puts the right foot into it, and it's scooped up by Kelly Buck, who catches it on the fly, and she'll jog it out to the top of the box before punting it toward midfield. Jillian Neal steps up for the Yellow Jackets to try and take it away. Now Schwade will send it down the field. It's Casey Golubov with the ball. She's running step for step with two Muskies, but it's forced out of bounds off of Muskingum. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. About a third of the way through this first half. Schwade will handle the throw in for BW. Gets it to Lizzie Stackhouse. Stackhouse lofts it over a defender to Jillian Neal. Neal trying to get around the defender. Sets up Casey Golubov, and she goes just a little bit too high. Just over the crossbar. And that'll result in a goal kick for the Muskies. Stackhouse is first to the ball, but the Yellow Jackets will be whistled for offsides. Possession to the Muskies. Muskies trying to work the ball down the field, and they will get a throw in past the midfield stripe. One sub each side. Get you those ladies' numbers in just a second. Now BW will send out a second sub. Becca Knight, a senior forward out of Canal Fulton for Muskingum, checking in for the Yellow Jackets. Number 37, Natalie Stewart, and number 7, Sydney Rice. Casey Golubov with possession for the Yellow Jackets. Drops it back to Schwade, who sends it to Beringer. Beringer up the field to Jillian Neal. It bounces off of Neal. Sent in by the Muskies. Now BW will retake possession. Sydney Rice is hustling towards midfield. She feeds it for a teammate. It's Stewart. Stewart then feeds it over to Farrell. Farrell trying to get it to Golubov. It's taken away by the Muskies. Good system right there for the Yellow Jackets. And they're not done yet as Wolfinger challenges along the sideline, taking it away momentarily before the Muskies will try to push. And deflecting it out of bounds, it's Brandy Philippi.
At Cleveland Clinic Sports Health, we understand athletes. Whether you've been injured or want to improve your performance, we have a team of experts for your needs. Call 1-877-44-TEAM or visit sports-health.org to learn more. Cleveland Clinic Sports Health, proud medical provider for Baldwin Wallace University student athletics.
Throw in for the Muskies along the far sideline. Cadigan sends it toward the box. Now one of the Muskies will redirect it, and Maddie Hoffman will corral it, and she will punt it down the field where Muskingum briefly deflects it before the Yellow Jackets regain possession. Sydney Rice battling for it along with Maddie Farrell. Farrell comes out with it. Left a lead pass for Stewart, but it was a little bit too long for Stewart to track it down. It'll be a throw-in for the Muskies. Muskies have it taken away by the Yellow Jackets. It's Wolfinger with the ball now. She sends it up to Farrell. Now it gets reversed to Beringer. Beringer tried to hit Golubov going towards the box. It's taken away by the Muskies. Brittany Herrick with the takeaway. But the Yellow Jackets will return the favor and get it right back. Maddie Farrell near the midfield stripe. She lofts it to Golubov. Golubov in the box will get possession of it. Very low angle shot before she slips it to Farrell. Farrell puts it on net, and it's a save for Kelly Buck. Good job by Maddie Farrell to hustle down the field to give Golubov a teammate to slip the ball to. Unable to put it in the back of the net. Farrell will take it back for the Yellow Jackets over to Natalie Stewart. Stewart working against the defender. There is a whistle going the way of the Muskies against the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a free kick for Muskingum. Muskingum doesn't hold it for long before Stewart helps take it away for the Yellow Jackets. Jillian Neal now with the ball in the center of the field. She looks back to Stewart left side. Stewart trying to get into the box, mishits it on a deflection, and Rice can't control it. But Wolfinger is there to step up in the passing lane and feed it over to Stewart. Stewart hustling into the box, feeds it to Farrell, now to Rice. Rice puts the shot on net, but it's a save for Kelly Buck. Yellow Jackets getting some chances here in the first half. Haven't cashed in on one yet, but they are starting to pick up the intensity and generate some more pressure. Jillian Neal takes it away and feeds it to Maddie Farrell. Farrell at midfield. Rifles a right-footed pass down the field, and Golubov could not redirect it or retain possession of it, and it sails past the goal along the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for the Muskies.
Earlier this afternoon by a final of 3-0. The next home game is Wednesday, October 19th, when it hosts the OAC game against Heidelberg University at 7 o'clock.
Isabella Pena has checked into the game for the Muskies. BW gets possession. Sydney Rice rockets a shot towards the net, sails it high, and a little bit wide. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Muskies. Casey Goluboff there to redirect the goal kick. Muskingum trying to hold on to possession, but Haley Schwade will take it away. Over to Beringer. She'll drop it all the way back to Kaylee Neal. Now to Anna Wolfinger, who gets the ball up the field, but it's taken away by the Muskies. They'll head down the field. Good lead pass, but Wolfinger is there to make it a tough angle. And it'll be a goal kick for BW. Quick kick over to Kaylee Neal. She tries to get it to Wolfinger, but it's last touched by the Yellow Jackets out of bounds. It goes for a throw-in for the Muskies. Muskingum with possession. It's sent over to Becca Knight. Shot put on net is scooped up by Maddie Hoffman, and she'll right-hand the ball out to Schwade. It's up to Jillian Neal. Redirected off of one of the Muskies, but regained by the Yellow Jackets, albeit momentarily before Muskingum takes it away. Now Maddie Farrell gets into the mix and takes it away. She feeds Natalie Stewart along the far sideline. Stewart trying to use a change of pace to get around a defender, and she does. But the ball trickles out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Muskies. We remain scoreless here between Baldwin Wallace and Muskingum with 20 minutes and 56 seconds to go here in the first half. BW quickly regains possession after that goal kick. Sydney Rice with the left-footed shot and a diving save by Maddie Hoffman. The Yellow Jackets are making, Kelly Buck. The Yellow Jackets are really making Kelly Buck work tonight. Jillian Neal near midfield will sky it, where Sydney Rice will try to retain possession. She'll head it over to Philippi. Philippi now battling for the ball. She's working against Becca Knight. And Casey Goluboff will step up and get into the mix before the Muskies will kick it out of bounds closer to midfield. Schwade will handle the throw-in. It's Philippi who tries to loft it to a teammate before it is redirected by the Muskies. Now Schwade will try to keep it in bounds to Goluboff, but unable to do so. It'll be a throw-in for the Muskies. Yellow Jackets will take it away. Sydney Rice tries to put it into the box. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Muskies. And Schwade will handle the throw-in. Substitution for the Yellow Jackets. Goluboff will take a seat. And Mary Litzinger, a 5'6" freshman from Sardinia, will check in. The ball will roll towards the net where it's scooped up by Kelly Buck. Kelly Buck will run it to the top of the box and then punt it down toward midfield, where Jillian Neal tries to head it away from the Muskies and does so. Sydney Rice giving a battle for the ball. Muskingum once again controls it but sends it out of bounds. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Schwade will handle that. She does so to Sydney Rice. Rice over to Litzinger. It's redirected by Philippi toward the net, but Buck is there to keep it out of the back of the net. She'll again walk it to the top of the box. And send away a punt that is battled for. Last touched by the Muskies, throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Schwade lofts it in to Farrell. Again, last touch by the by the Muskies, so it'll be a throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Sydney Rice gets it, and she gives it right back to Schwade. Over to Farrell. Farrell with a feed to Litzinger. Litzinger trying to track it down. Keeps it in bounds. Now trying to get around the defender. Right foot's a pass into the box. But the official will call an infraction against the Yellow Jackets, and it'll be a goal kick for the Muskies. The goal kick is headed down by the Yellow Jackets before it goes out of bounds off of the Muskies. Schwade will handle it to Jillian Neal. Neal with a good battle against Becca Knight. Sydney Rice now stepping up in the battle, trying to take the ball back for BW. Jillian Leposki took it away, tried to get it toward midfield where Wolfinger stepped up for the Yellow Jackets. Randy Philippi will lose possession. Now the Muskies are trying to get it on net, but before they can, the Yellow Jackets will send it out of bounds, throw in for the Muskies, and it'll be walked out of bounds by Kaylee Neal. She'll make Muskingum throw it in again. The throw-in is taken away by the Yellow Jackets. It's Stewart who took it away. Now the feed pass up to Rice. Rice left it for Stewart again, and it is last touched by the Muskies. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Anna Wolfinger will handle that. And she was looking for Farrell, who was sent to the ground. Ball last touched by the Muskies before it goes out of bounds. It'll be another throw-in for Wolfinger and the Yellow Jackets. This one gets to Jillian Neal, but before she can really get a handle on it, a foul against the Yellow Jackets. Free kick. The Muskies are trying to quick kick the Yellow Jackets down the field, and Wolfinger steps up, says nothing doing, and puts it into the Yellow Jacket bench to force a throw-in and give the Yellow Jackets some time to retreat and play some defense. Free kick for the Muskies is just over the top of the crossbar. Actually may have bounced off of the top of the crossbar and behind the goal. Good looking attempt right there for the Muskies. Their best scoring opportunity here in the first 30 minutes of play. Litzinger with the ball up to Schwade, but before Schwade can send it down the field, it's knocked out of bounds by one of the Muskies. That's Isabella Pena. Throw in from Schwade. It goes to Sydney Rice. She tries to feed it to Farrell. It is taken away briefly by the Muskies. Then Litzinger will take it right back before her lead pass goes out of bounds. And that will lead to a goal kick for the Muskies. While we have this moment, we want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leader since 1893. Chuck Ratuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. BW committed an infraction that will lead to a free kick for the Muskies. Last time the Muskies had a free kick, they put it very nearly on net. This one, that would have been a heck of a feat, as it happened deep in Muskingum territory. But Muskingum will retain possession for a couple of passes before it goes out of bounds, and it'll lead to a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. The throw-in goes to Farrell. She tries to get a step on a defender, who will then hustle down the field and send it out of bounds along the sideline to force the throw-in rather than the corner. Throw-in goes to Stewart. She has it taken away by one of the Muskies. Sydney Rice will force the throw-in for the Muskies as she sent it out of bounds near midfield. Yellow Jackets with the last touch again off of Kaylee Neal, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Muskies. Throw-in goes to Wolfter. Wolfter steps around Farrell. Rockets a left-footed shot just wide and high of the net. Substitution for the Yellow Jackets. Stewart comes out, as does Schwade.
Into the game for your Yellow Jackets, number 13, Sydney Mudge, and number 42, Lexi Thompson.
Sydney Mudge, the 5'10 freshman forward from Birch Run, Michigan, and a 5'10 freshman defender from Mainsville, Ohio. Number 42, Lexi Thompson, check into the game for the Yellow Jackets. The Muskies with brief possession. No, they'll hold it as Knight keeps it in. It gets knocked closer to midfield before Aubrey Brooks will try to restart the run for the Muskies. And Jillian Neal takes it away, sends it up the field to Sydney Rice. Farrell with the ball now. She'll send a left-footed shot toward the net. It's scooped up by Kelly Buck. Buck will punt it toward midfield where it caroms off of one Yellow Jacket. And now a second before Wolfinger keeps it inbounds. And now the Muskies will have it last touched off of them. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Litzinger tracking it down for BW. She rifles a left-footed shot into the box, but it sails through the box and goes out along the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for the Muskies. Becca Knight works the ball up the field, does so to Cadigan, who will find Paige Stringfellow, who's into the game for her first action today. BW takes it away. Litzinger feeding Sydney Rice. Rice in a foot race. She'll win that. Get into the box and trying to ball handle around a defender. Does so. Gets to the middle of the field before it is forced out of bounds off of the Muskies. It'll be a corner kick for BW. Litzinger will handle this.
Mary Litzinger with the corner kick.
Under 10 minutes to go here in the first half. We are scoreless as BW hosts Muskingum in this women's soccer, OAC women's soccer game at Tressel Field. Litzinger with the left-footed shot. It's headed away by the Muskies. Wolfinger tries to direct it towards the net and sends it just a little bit too wide. Another good opportunity for this Yellow Jacket team. They keep knocking on the door. Muskingum has had an answer so far, but one of these opportunities may get through if the Yellow Jackets continue to be persistent. It's Kelly Buck sending it up the field for the Muskies. And there'll be a foul on the Yellow Jackets as Isabella Pena is wrapped up. Looks like by Farrell. And that'll lead to a free kick for the Muskies. Yellow Jackets will take away possession on the far sideline. Trying to get it to Litzinger in the middle of the field. Nothing doing. The Muskies take it away. Jillian Neal now trying to pressure for the Yellow Jackets. And her pressure leads to a takeaway opportunity for Lexi Thompson, who will slip it over to Litzinger, but put a little bit too much behind the ball. And that'll result in a throw-in for the Muskies. 6:50 to go here in the first half of play from Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. And we are scoreless between the Yellow Jackets and the Muskingum University Fighting Muskies. Jillian Neal tries to feed it to a teammate just a little bit too long, and it's taken away by Muskingum. Muskingum sends it down the field, but the Yellow Jackets will get possession as Hoffman lofts a kick high down the field to Jillian Neal. And there is a foul called against one of the Muskies, and it'll be a free kick for the Yellow Jackets. The Yellow Jackets will push it into the box where its feed from Sydney Mudge is just a little bit too long and goes out along the goal line. That'll be a goal kick for the Muskies.
Into the game for the Muskies, number 12, Morgan Smith.
The Yellow Jackets will send it in on net after taking it away from the Muskies. Long shot, not much behind it, is scooped up by Kelly Buck. She'll march it to the top of the box and then drop a high arching punt right at midfield where it's headed away by Jillian Neal. Now Maddie Farrell stepping up in the fray and takes the ball away from a Muskie. She's working it down the field. Right foot's a feed pass into the box. But before it could get to a Yellow Jacket, Kelly Buck steps in and says, "I'll take that, thank you very much." The right-footed punt is fielded by Jillian Neal. She'll get it up the field to Mary Litzinger, who will then feed Philippi. Lead pass to Maddie Farrell, just a little bit too long. Out of bounds, last touch by the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a throw-in for the Muskies under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Throw-in goes to Morgan Smith. Smith keeps it inbound somehow, but the Muskies are deep in their own territory, and the Yellow Jackets are swarming. It's Sydney Rice taking it away, trying to feed Maddie Farrell, who lost the handle on it and was visibly frustrated with doing so. The Yellow Jackets will get possession near midfield, and it'll be Kaylee Neal trying to set up a teammate before it's taken away by the Muskies. Last touched out of bounds by Muskingum, throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Anna Wolfinger will handle it on the far sideline. Substitution for the Yellow Jackets. Senior midfielder Bella Regal from Niles, Ohio, will check into the game. Last touched by the Yellow Jackets. It's a throw-in for the Muskies. Right in front of the Yellow Jacket bench, they'll get another throw-in. It's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Muskies. Throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Plenty of time here to get something going. 2:30 to go in the first half. Jillian Neal tracks it down. She lofts it down the right side of the field. Litzinger going for the header. Will get possession for the Yellow Jackets. Good battle before it's knocked out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Isabel Cadigan did a heck of a job playing defense against Litzinger and forcing that ball out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Muskingum will hold possession for very briefly after the throw-in. Now Lexi Thompson with the ball for the Yellow Jackets. Slips it up the field to Bella Regal. Then up to Litzinger. Now to Sydney Rice. Rice feeds it for Litzinger. Litzinger tracks it down. Sends it up to Regal. Regal right foots the ball into the box. It's deflected toward the net where Kelly Buck is there to turn it away. 1:20 to go here in the first half. Muskingum with possession of the ball. It's Kelly Buck punting it toward midfield. And again, hits right at the midfield stripe. Muskingum retains possession briefly before the Yellow Jackets take it away. That's Jillian Neal hustling after it, trying to set it up a teammate down the sideline. Muskingum will step up and take it away. Muskingum with a bit of a push right here. A shot gets taken from the 30-yard line, so about 40 yards out before it's scooped up by Maddie Hoffman, who then one-hands the ball down the field. It works its way to Mary Litzinger. Out of bounds, last touched by the Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Muskies. Under 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Becca Knight trying to do something with it for the Muskies. Feed pass gets taken away by Beringer. She mishits the ball, but it'll stay near midfield where Litzinger will track it down and slip it to Bella Regal. Regal slipped it to a teammate. The Muskies briefly take it away. The Yellow Jackets with one final push, and the Muskies will put an end to that. And we will head to halftime in a scoreless 0-0 tie. We're going to step aside for a few minutes. When we come back, we'll have some first half statistics, and we'll also preview the second half between the Muskies and the Yellow Jackets here on BWYellowJackets.com. Thank you very much for listening to the first half. We'll be back in a minute for the second half. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. My name is Matt Florjancic, and I'm here on the call for tonight's women's soccer game between the Muskingum University Fighting Muskies and the Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets. We are scoreless after one half of play and just wrapping up halftime here at the stadium. While we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dane Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Taking a look at the first half of action, the Yellow Jackets had 11 shots, 6 of which made their way on goal. Muskingum had 5 shots total, 3 of which were on goal. BW's Maddie Hoffman turned away all 3 of Muskingum's shots, while Kelly Buck turned away all 6 of the Yellow Jackets' attempts. The Yellow Jackets had 3 corners to none for the Muskies. The Yellow Jackets also were offsides 3 times, whereas the Muskies were not once in the first half. BW committed 5 fouls against 2 fouls for the Muskies in that first half. BW starts with possession in the second half. They send a ball toward the net where Kelly Buck will scoop it up and send it down the field. Jillian Neal will take it away for the Yellow Jackets. She sends it up the field to Natalie Stewart, who will leave it for one of her teammates, who sends it in to the box where it's scooped up by Kelly Buck, who will reset. She'll walk it to the top of the box and then punt it, and it'll hit just shy of midfield. Maddie Farrell trying to wrestle it away for the Yellow Jackets, unable to do so. It's controlled by the Muskies. Sending it out of bounds, Sheridan Wolfter. So it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets, and it goes to Sydney Rice. Rice battling hard along the far sideline. And she will draw a foul against one of the Muskies. It'll be a free kick for the Yellow Jackets. Schwady sends it into the box. It's headed away by the Muskies. Headed further down the field by Muskingum before the Yellow Jackets will regain possession. Wolfinger into the middle of the field. It goes all the way through to a Muskingum defender. Now the pass gets sent over to Skylar Strong. Strong can't keep it inbounds. Goes out of bounds off of the Muskies. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. It's Wolfinger to Farrell. Farrell hustles down the field, trying to slip a pass to Casey Goluboff. It's knocked away by the Muskies, and it'll be another throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Wolfinger gets it in to Jillian Neal. Neal working it into the box. Left foot's a pass towards the middle. It's deflected. Goluboff there for the follow, but she sends it over the net for the second time today. It'll be a goal kick for the Muskies. Kelly Buck will send it down the field, but Natalie Stewart will take it away for the Yellow Jackets before the Muskies will clear it out of the box on a feed attempt to Maddie Farrell. The Muskies lose control. The Yellow Jackets will take it back. Maddie Farrell in the center of the field, looking for a passing lane. Now left foot's a shot in on net, and it's saved by Kelly Buck. Yellow Jackets keep knocking on the door. One of these times they're going to find a way to push through. Wolfinger will redirect the kick. Sydney Rice now trying to get possession for the Yellow Jackets. She leaves a pass for Natalie Stewart. Left it a little short. Casey Goluboff is there to track it down. Right foot's a shot on net, and it's another save for Kelly Buck. She'll walk it to the top of the box and punt it down the field. Jillian Neal goes up for the header. And the Yellow Jackets will briefly gain possession before Wolfter sends it across midfield. Last touch by the Muskies. It'll be a throw-in for, or last touch by the Yellow Jackets. Throw-in for the Muskies, I should say. Brittany Herrick will throw it in. She'll miss her teammate, and it'll be scooped up by the Yellow Jackets. Casey Goluboff gets the ball to Maddie Farrell. Farrell up to Sydney Rice. Rice with a feed pass that is momentarily redirected by the Muskies. Now it's taken away. Becca Knight, who's been really strong on both sides of the ball, is trying to generate some chances, but also making the Yellow Jackets work for every possession they get tonight. Jillian Neal at the midfield stripe sends it up to Natalie Stewart. Stewart working the ball around a Muskingum defender, and it is knocked out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Schwade will handle it, gets it to Natalie Stewart. Stewart, again, trying to get a step on a defender. She does. She tries to center a pass to Farrell, and a Muskingum defender gets in the way. Philippi tries to keep it alive and heads it towards the net, where Kelly Buck is there to scoop it up. Farrell is tripped up near midfield. She's pleading her case for a call. The official not buying it. Muskingum, in the meantime, pushes the ball into the box and sends a shot out of bounds, and it'll result in a goal kick for BW. It'll be a quick kick as it gets the ball up to Jillian Neal. Farrell with possession of the ball on the left side of the field. She's trying to get it to Goluboff. And Goluboff will battle for it before the Muskies take control very briefly. Farrell with a good angle on the ball, takes it right away. Left foot's a pass down the field that is headed away by the Muskies momentarily. Farrell will hustle after it and get it again. Farrell takes a big shot to the face, though, as she was pursuing the ball. Sheridan Wolfter unloaded on the ball to try and send it down the field, and Farrell was on the receiving end of that and caught it right in the face. The clock is still running. And now, after a good 20 to 30 seconds, the official will call time. Farrell trying to collect herself. Again, she was absolutely smoked on that. The ball hit her right in the face, and regardless if it catches you in the jaw, it's going to hurt. If it catches you in the nose, it's going to make your eyes water. If it catches you in the teeth, it might knock a few loose. I mean, there's a multitude of things that could go wrong there. And fortunately, Farrell is able to stay in the game. A little worse for wear. Muskingum had the throw-in. BW takes it away. Stewart with a right-footed shot and a save from Kelly Buck. Buck will punt it down the field. Maddie Farrell there to take it away. Farrell gave it to Rice, who tried to get it to Jillian Neal. Neal slipped. She may have had a little bit of assistance from one of the Muskies. But nonetheless, Morgan Meisel will send it down the field. And hustling after it for the Yellow Jackets is Kaylee Neal. And goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Muskies. Free kick for the Yellow Jackets. Maddie Hoffman lofts it toward midfield. Takes a Yellow Jacket bounce to Casey Goluboff, who's along the near sideline. She's dribbling it into the box. Left foot's a shot towards the net. Kelly Buck is there to corral it. She'll again walk it to the top of the box, and this time her punt is well short of midfield. And the Yellow Jackets' Brandy Philippi will track it down. Philippi across midfield. Lead pass for Stewart. Stewart hustling after it. Will keep it in bounds. Tries a right-footed shot into the box. Casey Goluboff charges towards the ball, and it goes out of bounds off of the Muskies right next to the goal. That'll be a corner for the Yellow Jackets. Haley Schwade will handle the corner kick duties. Lofts it toward the box with the right foot. Header towards the net. Now a kick. Now it's a rebound attempt from Sydney Rice, and it's batted away by the Muskies. That was a really good opportunity for the Yellow Jackets, and Muskingum's defense proved up to the task. Beringer now from 50 yards out will send it towards the net. Kelly Buck scrambling for it and is able to dive on the ball before Casey Goluboff could hit a wide open net with a shot. Buck with the punt. Gets to midfield where Starcher and Knight are trying to keep possession for the Muskies. They'll draw a foul on the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a free kick for the Muskies. Starcher will tee it up 56 yards shy of the goal, and the Yellow Jackets will head it out. Stewart there. She tries to send a pass up the sideline to Rice. It's knocked out of bounds by the Muskies. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Philippi with the ball. She slips a pass to Stewart. Stewart ahead of her defender. Charges toward the box. Right foot's a shot near. Kelly Buck can't get it, but one of the defenders for Muskingum clears it before the Yellow Jackets. Casey Goluboff gets a shot. Now Sydney Rice with a shot, and it is saved by Kelly Buck. Buck with the punt down the field. It's headed down by Jillian Neal. Neal over to Stewart. Stewart on the right side. She trips and loses possession of the ball. Now the Yellow Jackets will try to take it back. It's Stewart boxing out of Muskie, but another one was behind her and took the ball. Jillian Neal now with the ball, and she will knock it out of bounds. It's a throw-in for the Muskies. Bailey Hall into the game for the Yellow Jackets, who will get possession of the ball. It's Jillian Neal at midfield. She puts the pass down the field. It's a good one to Sydney Rice. Rice behind a defender, lofts a pass toward the, or lofts a shot towards the net. Deflection is sent home by Bailey Hall, but take it off the board as the Yellow Jackets are whistled for a late offsides, and that is very unfortunate. Sydney Rice with a good first shot, and Hall there for the rebound. But unfortunately, it goes by the boards. It's called offsides. It'll be a free kick for the Muskies. The Yellow Jackets will quickly take it away. Hall charging towards the box, but it is taken away by the Muskies. Working the ball all the way up the field as Morgan Meisel. And the ball will be taken out of bounds. Should have been last touch by the Muskies. They're going to say last touch by the Yellow Jackets. And it'll be Muskingum's first corner of the game, coming with 31-16 on the running second half clock. We are scoreless here in Berea. The right-footed kick is headed out of the box by the Yellow Jackets. Kick back towards the net by Muskingum, but BW is there to push possession out about 40 yards from the goal, and it'll be a throw-in for the Muskies. Muskingum with another throw-in. And this one is taken away by the Yellow Jackets. Sydney Rice hustles after the ball. Unable to get possession. Now Maddie Farrell will get possession, but she is whistled for a foul, and Maddie Farrell is upset. She felt she was fouled earlier in the game in the first half, and she is unbelievably upset with that call, as now Muskingum will get a free kick from about 35 yards out of the net, well within range of the go-ahead goal. The kick is sent on net, and it is caught in midair by Maddie Hoffman. Good save by the Yellow Jacket keeper. Bailey Hall sends it up the field. Farrell there fighting for possession, and she'll loft it down the field for Sydney Rice. Rice trying to get possession of it. It's kicked away by Muskingum. Jillian Neal will get the ball back, and she'll send it down the field, and it will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Muskies, and that's about as far as a throw-in can happen from the goal that you will be shooting at as it rolled just to the right of the flag stick in the corner. BW takes it away. It's Stewart with a left-footed shot. Kelly Buck there for the save. Kelly Buck will punt it down the field. She skies it, doesn't go very far, maybe 25 yards, where the Yellow Jackets will try and take possession, and they do. That's Brandy Philippi sending it over to Maddie Farrell. Farrell with the lead pass, and the Yellow Jackets are going to be hit with another offsides as Natalie Stewart was behind the last defender, and that results in the offsides call. Free kick for the Muskies. It's sent up the field, but it clears past several Muskingum players before Wolfinger will track it down. And now last touch by the Muskies, she'll get the throw in. Wolfinger gets the signal, as originally play was held up so Mary Litzinger could check back in for the Yellow Jackets. After Wolfinger's first throw in, it's headed out of bounds by the Muskies, and now Wolfinger's second throw in is more successful. as the Yellow Jackets will get it to Sydney Rice. Rice tracking it all the way down before slipping it to a defender. Finds Beringer. Beringer up the field it goes to Neal. Neal to Rice. Now sets up Philippi to pursue the ball. But it's kicked out of bounds by Wolfter. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. And it will be sent into the box. Bailey Hall trying to get an angle on it, unable to do so. Now Wolfinger steps all the way up into close to the box before she forces one of the Muskies to kick it out of bounds. Now it's thrown in by Wolfinger. Jillian Neal controls it, trying to find a driving lane. Oh, slipped a pass. Bailey Hall went to the right. The pass went to the left. And that allowed Kelly Buck to scoop it up for the Muskies. 26:20 to go here in the second half. We are scoreless from Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium as BW hosts Muskingum University in a women's soccer match in the Ohio Athletic Conference. Throw in for the Muskies. Along the far sideline, it's kicked out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets right into BW's bench. It'll be another throw in for the Muskies. The pass to Knight is a little too strong. Now Bailey Hall comes out of the pack for the Yellow Jackets with the ball. Maddie Farrell sends it up to Sydney Rice now. Rice over to Jillian Neal. Neal goes far side with a pass to Litzinger. Litzinger steps around a defender, gives it to Sydney Rice. Rice trying to pursue it again. She's in the box. She's got a left-footed shot. She puts it into the back of the net for a Yellow Jacket tally. BW goes in front after knocking on the door several times. Sydney Rice says, "I got you, teammates," and kicks it off the hinges by putting one into the back of the net for the Yellow Jackets. BW had outshot Muskingum 22-6 before that goal, 13-4 in shots on goal. And with that Sydney Rice tally, we have a Yellow Jacket lead 1-0. Muskingum trying for the quick answer. They get the ball into the box, but they didn't have much support in the way of pursuit, and the lead pass is scooped up by Maddie Hoffman. Hoffman sends it down the field. Now Maddie Farrell for the Yellow Jackets, looking for Sydney Rice. Rice knew she was behind the last defender, so she checked up to avoid the offsides call, and Farrell's pass was a little bit too long and went to goalkeeper Kelly Buck for the Muskies. Sydney Rice with possession at midfield. Left foot's a pass that's headed away by one of the Muskies. Now good pursuit by two Yellow Jackets. It's Rice and Philippi. They send Becca Knight to the turf and are whistled for the foul. It'll be a free kick for the Muskies. Wolfter with the kick. And she sends it down the field to Strong. And Strong has to go out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Wolfinger throws it over the head of Farrell, but Sydney Rice is there to try and track it down. It'll be taken away by Jillian Leposki before she gives it away to the Yellow Jackets. Now Sydney Rice again in pursuit of the ball. Wolfter is there at the top of the box to knock it away momentarily. And a foul on Farrell, and you got to believe that that's a little bit of frustration. She was not happy about the call that didn't get made by the officials in the first half, and she was definitely not pleased with the foul that was whistled on her earlier in the second half. Free kick for the Muskies. Wolfter sends it across midfield. It goes past one Muskingum player now is controlled by Starcher. Starcher lead pass down the left sideline is battled for, and Schwade will let it roll out of bounds. Last touch by the Muskies. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Maddie Hoffman sends it down the field. Mary Litzinger with the ball. She gets it across midfield, but Wolfter is there to send it right back at the Yellow Jackets. Emily Keeler with some good ball handling to maintain possession before her pass was a little bit too long. Now it's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. It goes to Maddie Farrell. She'll reverse it back to the defense. That's Beringer with the ball. Over to Kaylee Neal. Not Anna Wolfinger. Up it goes toward midfield where Bella Regal will reverse it. Now it's over to Bailey Hall. Hall into the middle of the field. It goes to Farrell. Farrell reverses it right side to Litzinger. Litzinger stays with it, keeps possession. Rockets a left-footed shot into the back of the net from 30 yards out. It's a Yellow Jacket goal. Mary Litzinger with the left-footed rocket. Kelly Buck tried to time up her jump, and while she did a good job to time it up, she did not have the height advantage on that one, as it, at full extension, still got past her reach and sailed into the net to give the Yellow Jackets a 2-0 advantage with 21:30 to go here in the second half. Philippi sends it over to Litzinger. Litzinger now trying to give it to Schwade. Litzinger will get it right back. Over to Schwade. It's tipped away by one of the Muskies, but Maddie Farrell will track it down again. Over to Bailey Hall. Hall in the middle of the field. It goes to Sydney Rice. She had the first of the 2 Yellow Jacket goals today. Now it's deflected over to Maddie Farrell. Farrell gets near the box, feeds Hall. Hall with a left-footed shot is blocked. But before she can get that attempted, the Yellow Jackets are whistled for offsides. The Yellow Jackets quickly take advantage. Sydney Rice with the right-footed shot. She puts it over the net. And it'll be a goal kick for the Muskies. Hall checks out. Sydney Mudge checks into the game. Lexi Thompson also checks into the game. Wolfinger will take a seat. Yellow Jackets take it away after the goal kick. Mudge hustling down the field, and it is last touched by Muskingum, and it goes out along the base of the goal line. So it'll be a corner kick for the Yellow Jackets. Ailey Schwade will do the honors. Charges the ball, puts a right foot into it. It's headed out by the Muskies, and the official calls an infraction against the Yellow Jackets. So it'll be a free kick for Muskingum. Wolfter looks like she will handle this free kick. She right foots the ball down the field, and it is tipped out of bounds by Thompson of the Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Muskies. Substitution for Muskingum. Audrey Campbell, a freshman defender slash midfielder from Parkersburg, West Virginia, checks in. Isabella Pena checks out. The throw-in goes to Marissa Starcher, and she sends it into the box where Maddie Hoffman will scoop it up and roll it over to Behringer. Behringer tried to move it up the right sideline. It was tipped away by one of the Muskies. Now Farrell will punt it back towards Bella Regal, who gets it to Mary Litzinger, who has the second Yellow Jacket tally, and an impressive one at that from 30 yards out. Rice in the middle of the field. She'll dribble off right side, using some fancy footwork to get in the box and put a shot toward the net. It sailed just wide left. It had Kelly Buck diving from left to right, but she did not need to worry as the shot was just a bit too long. She has a goal kick that the Yellow Jackets take away very briefly before they run the ball out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Muskies. And it goes to Starcher. Starcher had it taken away by the Yellow Jackets. Then they knocked it out of bounds. Starcher's throw-in is taken by Lexi Thompson, but Thompson, a little bit too physical along the sideline. It'll be a free kick for the Muskies. Starcher with the ball, with the free kick. It's punched out by Maddie Hoffman. Now Mary Litzinger trying to start a push up the field. She slips it to Sydney Rice. It sails wide of Rice. Tracking it down is Cadigan, and she will let it roll very nearly out of bounds, and it'll be last touch by the Muskies. The Yellow Jackets will get a throw in deep in Muskingum territory. Substitution for the Yellow Jackets. Farrell checks out. And Jillian Neal checks in. Throw-in goes to Litzinger, not to Bella Regal. Litzinger tried a shot. It's blocked in the box by one of the Muskies. Another shot attempt is lofted towards the net, and it is picked out of the air by Kelly Buck. Buck punts it toward midfield. It's missed by everybody and picked up by Jillian Neal. Neal left foots the ball down the field. It's tracked down by Sydney Mudge. Mudge trying to get possession back as one of the Muskies takes it away, and she does. She slips it to Bella Regal. Regal in the box, stutter steps, gets a right-footed shot towards the net, and it's headed into the back of the net for another Yellow Jacket goal, and it's Mary Litzinger coming up with the goal off of the feed from Bella Regal. The freshman stepping up in a big way today in a relief role. She did not start the game. She came in as a substitution. She has tallied 2 of the Yellow Jackets' 3 goals tonight, and BW holds a 3-0 advantage with 14:26 to go here in the second half. BW sends the ball out of bounds right in front of Muskingum's bench. It'll be a throw-in for the Muskies. While we have this opportunity, I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. BW pushed the ball toward the net. Kelly Buck was able to keep it out of the net and send it up the field. BW and Muskingum battling for it, trying to keep it in bounds for the Muskies was Audrey Campbell. She was unable to do so. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets, and Lexi Thompson will handle that after this substitution. Haley Schwade will check out. And coming into the game, seeing her first action today is 5'5" junior defense number 23, Ellie Pinar. Jillian Neal at the middle of the field. She rockets a shot towards the net, and she puts it well over the crossbar, and it sails out of bounds. Goal kick coming for Muskingum. Pinar with the ball now. She tries to get it into the box. It's taken away by one of the Muskies. Bella Regal will regain possession for the Yellow Jackets, but she'll knock it out of bounds. It's a throw-in for the Muskies as we hit the 12-minute mark here in the second half. BW with a 3-0 advantage over Muskingum. Aubrey Brooks checks back into the game for the Muskies. And Muskingum will have a throw-in. Timeout is called on the field by the officials. And not sure what is going on, but it looks like one of the Yellow Jacket reserves was down along the goal line and has just been issued a yellow card. Don't know what was said, but whatever it was, wasn't good. It was bad enough to draw the attention of the officials. Play is whistled in. It'll be a throw-in for the Muskies. Sent down the field to Maddie Hoffman, the Yellow Jacket keeper. She will pick it up after drawing one of Muskingum's forwards into the box. And now Hoffman will punt it toward midfield where it's headed to Sydney Rice. Rice pushes it up the field. Left foot's a shot just high of the net. She was looking for her second of the game and was just off the mark with that one. It'll be a goal kick for the Muskies. BW will take it away after the goal kick. It's Sydney Rice now working her way into the box. Right foot's a shot off the goalkeeper's hands. Kelly Buck kept it away but couldn't keep it in bounds. And fortunately for her, she didn't keep it in bounds as that ball was heading right towards Sydney Mudge, and she had a wide open net. It'll be a corner kick for the Yellow Jackets. They send out 3 substitutions here as we approach the 10-minute mark. And handling that corner will be Mary Litzinger. She left foots the ball toward the net and had a little bit too much push to the left on that. It's a tough angle for a left-footed kicker. Alyssa Scatino and a Wolfinger check into the game, as does Alyssa Scatino. Kelly Buck with the goal kick. She sends it up the field to Audrey Campbell. And it's last touched by Muskingum. Will be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Anna Wolfinger. It's it to Jillian Neal. Neal in the middle of the field sends it over to Litzinger. Litzinger with the left footer. It sails wide of the net. It'll be another goal kick for the Muskies. Buck's goal kick is fielded by the Muskies. Campbell trying to slip a lead pass to a teammate. Thompson is there for the Yellow Jackets. She'll track it down and send it on toward Maddie Hoffman, who will kick it up the field to Jillian Neal. Neal to Litzinger. Litzinger to Scatino, who is whistled for offsides. This will be a free kick for the Muskies. Scatino now with the ball. She has a pass attempt, ricochet out of bounds off of the Muskies. It's a throw-in for Wolfinger in the Yellow Jackets. Wolfinger trying to track it down after Muskingum sends it on the Yellow Jacket defensive side of the field. And Wolfinger doing a great job to box out one of the Muskies before she gets a throw in. She spikes it into the ground before getting it up to Scatino. Scatino sends it all the way down the field, where it is kicked out of bounds by the Muskies. More substitutions, 2 per side.
Into the game for the Muskies, number 9, Skylar Strong, and number 2, Lauren Hurdle. And for your
Wolfinger on the throw-in. She gets it to Jillian Neal. Neal with Paige Phillips, and then Stackhouse with the shot. It goes wide. Goal kick coming for the or for the Muskies rather, excuse me. More substitutions. Goluboff checks back into the game. Ball is handled by Leposki for the Muskies. And it's taken away by Scatino for the Yellow Jackets. Good pursuit from Goluboff, and she kicks it into the side of the net. On the outside part of it. That'll result in another goal kick for the Muskies. Buck sends it down the field, is eventually played by Skylar Strong, who has it taken away by Nina Lafko. Lafko sends it all the way down to Hoffman. Hoffman now with the right-footed kick gets it to midfield, where it is redirected by Brittany Herrick. Herrick up the field to Leposki. Now it gets sent over to Lauren Hurdle, who checked into the game recently. Now to Morgan Mysol, and it is stopped by Maddie Hoffman. She'll make a couple of Muskingum players charge toward her before she picks up the ball, letting that clock tick down a little bit. We're inside of 5 minutes now left to go here in the second half. BW with good pursuit on the far side, but losing a handle on it was Lizzie Stackhouse. It's sent out of bounds by the Muskies. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Good pursuit right there by Phillips. Phillips will track it down along the goal line. Now send it into the box. It's knocked away by one of the Muskies out of bounds. It's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. One more substitution for BW. Regal will check out. And Caitlin Callahan, the freshman defender from Batavia, Illinois, checks in. Muskingum blocks a shot. And Callahan now tries to track it down near midfield. She does, over to Beringer. Yellow Jackets retain possession in front of their own bench. Scatino now with the ball. She feeds Stackhouse. And a redirect by Golubov goes out of bounds. It's a goal kick for the Muskies. Kelly Buck with the kick down the field. And it is headed back toward her net by the Yellow Jackets. Still a ways away before Muskingum can redirect it out of bounds and force the Yellow Jacket throw in. Anna Wolfinger will handle those duties. She gets the ball to Paige Phillips. Phillips redirects it towards the middle of the field, where Lauren Hurdle will take it for the Muskies. She'll slip it up to Skylar Strong, courtesy of Jillian Leposki. Out of bounds off of Muskingum. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Wolfinger looking for Lafko. It's knocked away by one of the Muskies. 2.5 minutes to go here in the second half. The ball will dribble its way to Maddie Hoffman, who will scoop it up. And Hoffman right foots a punt down the field. That's a nice kick right there, about 45 yards on the fly. Muskingum, however, will battle for it. And it's a good battle along that far sideline. Last touch by the by the Yellow Jackets. And it'll be a foul on the Yellow Jackets, actually, so it'll be a free kick for the Muskies. Taking it is Starcher. She rockets a right-footed shot toward the box, and Maddie Hoffman, with a clear lane in front of her, runs up and takes the ball away before punting it down the left side of the field to Phillips. Phillips trying to redirect it, and it is knocked out of bounds by one of the Muskies. Wolfinger throws it in. It's knocked out of bounds by Scatino. That'll be a throw-in for the Muskies. Brittany Herrick will handle the throw-in. Now it's knocked out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets again. Herrick will again try to send it in and does so to Starcher. Starcher skies a kick toward the box. Maddie Hoffman is absolutely clobbered by one of the Muskies. And you don't want to see that, especially late in the game. Less than a minute left to go. Maddie Hoffman, one of the seniors being honored today on Senior Day, and she is absolutely clobbered by one of the Muskies. And right away the officials call for the BW training staff. And it's about a 70-yard run from the trainer's location to the goal line, which is where Maddie Hoffman sits right now. You hope for the best for that young lady. Looks like she's having her left knee attended to. Well, we have this break in the action one final time. Send out some thank yous to our sponsors. First, tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leader since 1893. Chuck Rotudo and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Hoffman is up and walking, which is always a good sign, but she will have to be relieved in the final 38 seconds of her senior night game.
Back in the game for your Yellow Jackets, number 1, Maddie Hoffman.
Goal kick by the Yellow Jackets. He's taken away by the Muskies. I want to apologize. That was not Maddie Hoffman who was injured. It was actually Katie Scott who had come in the second half. And she was the one who gingerly walked to the sideline. She was replaced by Maddie Hoffman, who started tonight's game. With that, the Yellow Jackets will take a 3-0 victory over Muskingum and improve to 8-6 on the season. They are now 4-3 at home. They are 3-2 in Ohio Athletic Conference play. They have won 3 straight in OAC play after losing 2 straight to open OAC play, 1-0 at Marietta and 6-0 at Mount Union. BW has now won 3 straight with a 2-1 victory over Wilmington last Saturday, a 4-1 victory over John Carroll this past Wednesday, and now tonight's 3-0 victory over Muskingum, who falls to 2-9-3 on the year. They are 2-3-2 on the road, and now 0-5 in Ohio Athletic Conference play. Muskingum has lost 7 straight games now, dating back to a September 24th setback against Case Western Reserve, and has continued ever since. So that'll do it for tonight's webcast here at Baldwin Wallace, where the Yellow Jacket women's soccer team were 3-0 victors over the Muskingum University Fighting Muskies. For everyone here at Baldwin Wallace University, I want to thank you for tuning in to today's game and say have a great night, everybody, and go Jackets.